The old man still chasing squirrels?
Yeah, and squirrels are fast. Okay, here's some more. I was trying to point these out to you the other day. These are called shaggy mane, and these are actually supposed to be quite tasty. They're edible mushrooms. You get them before they, while they're like this. That's that's the time to pick them. That's too late. And then there's these. Seen the geese packing up and heading south. Right now they're calling for a fairly early onset of winter. Oh yeah, this one here. There's a fresh break in that direction. So this is, again, this is Manitoba maple, member of the maple family. All these there's a row of them. They're quite large. This used to be the driveway, the old driveway, and these big old trees were obviously part of that driveway access to the back of this property, and they're prone to breaking. Manitoba maples, they're not a long-lived tree. They don't live a long time. They're not like sugar maples. This is a sugar maple. These two are sugar maples. They have a different growth habit. You see them, they're a single base here. Manitoba maples sprout from the roots. If you cut this down, it'll grow back from the roots again. So they're good that way, in that they can regenerate from the roots, which sugar maples can't do. But they're also not a very sturdy tree, and they're prone to breaking, and they sprout new growth wherever a limb breaks off. When they get really old, like the ones around the house, the Manitoba maples around the house and around the garage, they become very dangerous. They're huge, enormous trees, and they're very prone to the tops and large branches breaking off in windstorms, ice storms, or for no other reason than they're old and rotten, and then falling down and damaging things on the way.
Or people.
Or people, or anything that's in the path. We've seen a number of them come down, often without warning. There's one of these big, old, and dangerous Manitoba maples that I was talking about back there. You can see there's a large vertical limb growing up. The top is lost all its bark. It's quite dead. There's another one over growing out this way, which is also dying back. And those big limbs at some point will come down. And what's underneath it is the garage. If you look at the roof of the garage here, where it's been damaged, and you look a little higher up, there's a dent, and if you go on the other side, there's a similar dent. That's where a large overhanging branch came down and fortunately didn't penetrate the roof, but it did damage the eaves trough, which I repaired. I braced the eaves trough here because it was not functioning properly, and I repaired the other eaves trough on the other side, which also had been damaged, maybe by the same branch or by a different one, I don't know. But there's enough evidence there to tell a reasonable person that these trees pose a danger to life and property.
And how long have we been telling this?
Since the beginning, I believe.
Since before we
Since
moved
before
in.
we even moved here.
Yeah.
We've been attempting to get through to someone in a position to do something about it. Yeah, I think these two trees are very problematic because they're so close to this building. And this one is big enough that it could impact the house if it came down in this direction. And that's where a lot of the heavy winds come from, out of the west and the northwest. Yeah, there's a dent right up near the peak of the roof. There's a substantial dent, which was, again, a branch that came down, probably, and dented the roof. Anyway, these trees served their purpose. They shaded this deck in the back of the house for many years, and now it's time to remove them.
Jeff, would you say that throughout our tenancy and beyond, we have done nothing but serve our landlord's highest good?
That's certainly been our intention.
And just point out areas that desperately need attention.
That's what we've done and what we are continuing to do and what we will always do.
When did the landlord write us that letter saying we're not going to do anything? What was the date of that email?
That was back in 2019 even. I think pretty early, within a couple of months after we moved in. We were told that they had done everything that they had promised to do, and that was the end of it. They weren't going to do anything more for us. And apparently that was the truth, because since that time they've done nothing on the property to deal with these dangerous trees, the dead and dying trees. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Well, we stepped up and we took responsibility. I would have thought that the landlord would appreciate our actions to reduce their liability in this situation, because it is ultimately the landlord's responsibility to maintain the property in a safe condition. It's not the tenant's responsibility. It's the landlord's responsibility. And they have seriously fallen down on their responsibilities.
The information that we were giving and all the evidence that we were giving for the neglect, showing the neglect, was then used against us and packaged as defamation.
Yes, that's true. We have been involved in litigation, and our own words attempting to elicit a reasonable response have instead been used to intimidate us and to make us the agents of defamation and libel, and even beyond that, harassment.
Criminal harassment. I'm asking my landlord to take responsibility for his responsibilities, and that is criminal harassment.
Yes, well, it's an upside down world. We know that. upside down and inside out. The truth is made to seem like a lie, and the lies are proclaimed as the truth.